Today I'm going to show you a super detailed workflow to create performance ads for fashion brands in 3 formats: product films, UGC ads, and BTS studio shoots. In this video, I'm creating ads for the brand Uniqlo by training one video agent to be my campaign manager. We are creating this with AI agents because that's going to make the workflow 5 times faster than any other process out there. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to create 4 to 5 high-performing ads just like this every day for your own brand too. Stick around till the end where I break down exactly how much each ad cost me and how much time each one took. So let's jump into it. You open Invideo and on this page you type out the broadest brief of what you're going to create today. So in our case, we're making ads for Uniqlo's linen collection. So that's just what I typed out. Now before I get into a specific ad, the first thing I do is I'm going to give agent some brand context and guidelines. These are largely your pre-production documents before you actually shoot an ad. For Uniqlo, that's 3 documents. The first one is the visual guidelines, which basically covers the brand identity, voice, tone. Now as a brand manager, you should already have all of this, so this is sorted. The second one is the product catalog, which has the actual shots of the product, the actual collection. Here I think it's just important for you to make sure that you have multiple angles per product and close-ups under different lighting. Quick plug, if you do this, our agent will always get the texture of the clothing 100% right throughout the ad. And the third document is the treatment note. This covers things like the camera language, lighting, composition, and so on for the ad that you want to create. I also like to include something called the standing don'ts, especially for performance ads, which has rules like no plastic looking fabric, no whip pans, no moody color grading, no AI looking humans. I upload these docs into the project. You can see that the agent has populated the context tab, which I like to think of as the brain of the project, because the agent will remember all of these things on its own throughout the project without me having to repeat any of it. Now the first ad we're building is a product showcase film.
Some days, you just need to feel lighter, softer, easier. Uniqlo linen.
So I'm going to start by briefing the agent about my idea. I tell it, I want to make a fun summer linen collection for Uniqlo. The agents come back with a clarification question and it's asked me, are we thinking friends on a summer day energy? I personally love that direction. It's very Uniqlo, so I'm just going to proceed with it. As you can see, it's taken that idea and it's now come back with draft shot-by-shot breakdowns for me to sort of iterate on. It's chosen a coastal rooftop courtyard setup, group of friends mingling, and closing on 3 jumping shots across the sky. Now this setup is good, but I want one character per frame for this entire ad. I don't want a group. So I'm just going to tell it, I want to see one person in the frame at a time. Now you might also have a previous campaign that you want to use as a reference, like this one that I had for Uniqlo. So I'm uploading that and I've asked the agent to read the video and take this video's camera language and pacing for my current ad. As you can see, it's understood the camera language and it saved all of that information in context itself. It's also come back to me with a new shot breakdown based on the reference video that I had uploaded. I review this, I'm happy with it, so we lock this and I'm now ready to move on to casting. Now personally, when creating cast options, I prefer using Recraft. So I've told the agent to stick to Recraft. Look, I could have also used Nano Banana for this, but the faces just come out very generic on Nano sometimes versus Recraft. That gives me a lot more realism in the faces and just better skin texture. Now for this ad, we are casting 2 women and 1 man. The agent shows me some cast options. I jam with it on what I like and what I don't like, just like I would do back and forth with a cast director. And these are the characters I like, so I lock these. Let's move to their wardrobe now. The agent picks some wardrobe options from the product catalog, but I don't quite like the ones that it's picked, so I just pick some products from the product catalog myself and I upload them into the chat. I also assign each product to each character and I tell the agent how they have to be styled. The agent shows me the full character sheets. I'm happy with this, so now this is locked as well. Now at this point, as a creative director, I changed my mind about the location of the ad. I want it to be at the beach and not on a rooftop. So I'm directing the agent to change the location of the ad. I also give it some details about the outdoor lighting. And now, because I have my shots, cast and character sheet locked, I asked the agent to start generating the images of the entire ad. Basically, I've now moved on to storyboarding. Okay, see this. This is now pretty cool. because just like a good crew member, it's reviewing its own outputs before even showing them to me. It's got stuff like a frame with anatomical errors on the hand, and it's rejected that, it's regenerated that image, a frame with an unnatural pose, a frame with visible arm hair on a character whose character sheet, by the way, did not have any arm hair, and it just regenerates those shots before I see the output for each one. It's also giving me multiple image options for each shot. I'm reviewing each one as it gets generated. At this point, I'm happy with the storyboard images, so I locked these, and now I'm going to move on to turning each of these images into video clips. I normally generate video clips in smaller batches, say batches of 5, because smaller batches just give me more freedom to iterate quickly and early. And more importantly, they save a ton of credits compared to if I was generating all 15 clips at once and then finding something that's gone off and then regenerating all of those 15 clips again. While generating the videos, Agent 1 automatically defaulted to seed dance, which is the best model for such videos anyway, so I'm good with that. From a creative direction perspective, I iterate on some video clips. There's some back and forth that we're doing. Now, as a creative director, I also have a habit of taking stock of where we are at in the project. So I asked the agent that, what's done so far, what's still pending, what about the supers in this video? You can see that it's come back with a clean breakdown of this pretty quickly. Great, so now I have all the clips that I need. I'm going to now move on to music and voiceover for this ad. For the voiceover, I refer to the previous Uniqlo ad that we had uploaded because that voiceover would just work in this ad as well. But the reference video is in Thai, so I asked the agent to translate it to English. It does that. There's some creative iteration that I'm doing, and I finally liked the translated voiceover, and the voiceover is now locked. And finally, let's move on to music. There's some iteration on what kind of music I wanted in the film. So again, I re-referenced the earlier Uniqlo ad that we had uploaded. It understood the genre, instrumentation, tempo, and more from the reference video. There's some more iteration on what's working, what's not, and I finally lock it in because I'm happy with this one. I then took all of the generated clips, the music, the voiceover, and supers into Premiere Pro. I stitched it all together there, and I finished the cut in Premiere Pro itself. That's a wrap on ad number 1. So let's move on to ad number 2. The second ad we are creating is a BTS-styled studio shoot. I'm starting this ad with a new agent. Now, the previous agent is like an expert crew for all product outdoor films, so I don't want to touch that. And I want to create this agent to specialize in BTS-styled ads. Now, this agent I've created is in the same project, so it has the same context, it has the same brand guidelines, it's just a fresh chat. I start by briefing the agent on the idea, a row of linen shirts on a hanger to start, then a model wearing the different shirts and posing like the BTS of a photo shoot. The whole thing's set in a white limbo studio, and I want to use the same shirt in different pastel shades. The agent's asking me clarifying questions. First, do I want to carry forward the cast from the previous ad, or do I want someone new? I'm going with someone new. This is a single talent ad format. And second, how many pastel shades? I'm telling it 4 to 5. I think that's enough variety for this ad. I also define the camera movement, and I get started with cast. Now, the agent's given me a few options I can pick from. I like 34.6, so I'm going to tell the agent to lock that one. Next, it's asking for what shirt color the model should wear to start with. I tell it pastel pink. There's some back and forth I do with the agent on the character, the background, and the color of the shirt until I land on something I like this one. Now the cast and styling is locked. I ask the agent to generate multiple options of the girl wearing 5 different colored shirts in multiple poses and angles, but keeping the lighting the same. It's done a good job generating these images. I do want a few more angles, but I noticed that the white and cream shirts aren't really working well against the white background that we've picked. So I upload an image from the product catalog so that the agent can pick a few more colors. It gives me more options, and I'm picking teal and brown to try on the model next. At this point, I also ask the agent to look back in its memory and confirm that the colors of the shirt that have been picked are the same as the ones in the product catalog, and it just does that. Now at this stage, I'd locked the character and the character sheet across all of the products. I then want to generate an image of the first shot of the video, the rack shot. I told it generate the first shot slightly frontal, but with enough depth so that we can see all the 5 colors hanging on the rack. And the agent generated that. Then I asked for a tighter version of the same shot so that the linen texture is visible. And this shot looks pretty great because the texture has really held up. All images are now locked. I move on to generating the video clips for these images now. The shot breakdown was just the girl wearing the shirt in 5 different colors and moving specifically. So I start with the camera movement. I'm telling the agent don't move straight and flat, slightly Dutch, etc. To make sure we're on the same page, the agent came back with patterns that it's planning to follow. I confirm that it looks good, I define the resolution as well, and I ask it to generate the video clips. After some iteration, I was happy with the video clips that it generated. Now all I needed was the music. I defined the music I thought would be a good fit here, did some back and forth with the agent on what I wanted. I didn't quite get a clean 15-second arc on most generations, but I ended up using part of one of them as the backing track. Then I took all of the clips, the music, and the supers into Premiere Pro and I stitched it all together. Now compared to the previous ad that we were creating, this one was much faster. Largely because the agent already had memory and context on what the visual guidelines and the production guidelines were. So I didn't have to, continuously define the voice, the tone, the lighting, all of those things manually for each and every shot that I was generating. And that's a wrap on ad number 2. The third ad we are creating for Uniqlo is a UGC ad.
I've been eyeing this outfit for so long. I mean, look at it. It's giving chic yet effortless. I'm obsessed. This is definitely going to be my summer outfit.
For this one, I'm starting a new project entirely and I'm re-uploading the same PDFs that we did before to populate the context. Now look, I could have also created a new agent in the same project, but I wanted to keep UGC as a format clean from the product showcase, so I've just created an entirely new project and I'm going to start the same way. I type my brief in, a UGC trial room review, influencer trying on one of the linen outfits in a Uniqlo trial room, reacting to it on camera. I'm also uploading an actual Uniqlo trial room image as a visual reference for the agent. The agent comes back to me with trial room options for me to evaluate. I give the agent some more direction for what I want the trial room to look like. I also ask the agent to start building the cast, what the girl looks like, what is she wearing and all of that. It again comes back with options. I like this one particular cast, but I ask the agent to make some minor tweaks to her appearance. So I'm editing it like I'm directing. I wanted to remove the wing liner, I wanted to soften the eyebrows, and then I asked the agent to build the entire character sheet with the linen pants outfit. Then I asked the agent to start work on the script. Now I have a vague idea of what I want the script to be, so I'm asking it to brainstorm with me as we go through the script. It comes back with some hook options, a transformation idea, a fabric insert. Now I know that transformations are not the easiest to do in AI UGC videos, so I asked the agent to stick to a single one-take reaction in a trial room. After some iteration, I lock the script and I move on to image generation. Now the agent's actually given me a ton of options here. I'm directing it on how the lighting should be, how the camera should move, maintaining consistency between frames, and the agent's got into a place where I'm happy with these images, so all images are now locked. Moving on to generating the video clips. Now the agent will automatically use the best video model out there to generate the video, but for this one, I wanted to compare specific outputs from Kling and Seed Dance, so I told the agent to do that. Now it's pretty cool that everything remained consistent, irrespective of what model I used. The face, the dress, all of it is just completely consistent, and I've reached a place where I was happy with the UGC ad. That's a wrap on ad number 3. Moving on to the final ad. The fourth and final ad in this video is an outdoor UGC piece.
So this is the Uniqlo linen mini dress. It's actual linen, you can feel the weave, but it's really soft. The cut is this easy A-line so it doesn't cling, it just kind of falls. Oh, and it has pockets! And this burgundy is really pretty in person. Honestly, I don't think I need another dress this summer.
For this one, I'm creating a new agent, but within the same project, and we go straight into the new brief. I give the agent some creative direction. It's an indoor studio. I want the ad to feel like it's shot on an iPhone, and there's a grey backdrop. Now the agent builds a script for me to evaluate. I read it, and I'm changing my mind about the location setup. I tell the agent, let's take it outside, in sunlight, still in a grey backdrop, but in an outdoor setting. Now you might have some already existing winning ads that you might want the agent to reference, like this one that I had for Uniqlo. So I uploaded in and I've asked the agent to transcribe it and use it as a structural reference for my script. I talk to the agent like I would talk to a scriptwriter. I tell it that the script needs to be more conversational. It gives me a revised one. I go through it. I'm happy with this one and it's locked. Now moving on to casting, I want a Korean model for this one. I iterated on some of her features, and once the cast was locked, the agent built the entire character sheet for the burgundy mini dress that we are going to show in this ad. Now there's some back and forth that I do with the agent on how I want the styling of the dress to be on the model. It comes back with some options for me to choose from. I like this one, so I lock it in. The next step is to generate an actual image of the character at the location. I asked the agent to generate one clean image of the character standing in the outdoor setting, and I'm going to use this one as an anchor frame for all of the future generations of this ad. I'm now getting into video generation directly. I asked the agent to have the model do specific actions across the ad, just using different body language and different beats. so that I don't get the same loop on every shot. Now the agent generates some options. I pick the ones that I like and I lock the video clips. For the voiceover, I pick a warm, playful tone. I tell the agent that this voiceover is not being spoken out by the character, but it's just used as an overlay on the project. I jam with the agent on things like the duration of the voiceover, the tones, and I lock the one that I actually like. And for the music, I ask for upbeat music and it incorporates that into the ad. And that's a wrap on ad number 4. Now for the part where I break down the exact time and cost this entire process took. We were 2 folks running this entire process, a senior creative director and a junior director of generation. Now to make sure that we got the exact numbers for you, we spent an entire day testing this workflow end to end across all of these 4 formats. First, the setup. It took the agent about 15 minutes to absorb and understand the context from the PDFs that we had uploaded. Now this you have to do only once when you're generating ads for a particular product line. Once the setup was done, in a single 8-hour day, we were able to create 5 UGC ads, and in a single 8-hour day, we were able to create 4 product showcase ads. So if you have to do UGC ads and product showcase ads together, you should be able to create about 4 to 5 ads in one day. On cost, on an average, to create 2 product showcase ads and 2 UGC ads cost us about 2,000 credits, which is roughly about $500, and that comes to about $125 per ad, which in comparison to an actual shoot is pretty great, right? If you run an e-commerce brand and you want to ship performance ads this fast at this cost, this is the only agentic workflow you will ever need. If you want to try it today, just click on the link in the description below and I'll see you in the next video.